Every startup dreams of scaling, but securing the right investment can be really a game changer. Yet one thing that startups often overlook is what really goes inside an investor's mind. What makes the investor say yes to their idea? Today on Inside Investor's Mind, we have with us Ms. Anisha Singh, the founding partner of She Capital. As an entrepreneur turned investor, she knows both sides of the table. Let's get into this conversation with her to know what really goes inside an investor's mind. Welcome, Anisha. So, what inspired you to transition from being an entrepreneur to become an investor?
Well, thank you so much for having me here. I don't think there was a set path. It wasn't like I decided, I'm going to, at some point in my life, be an investor. I think during my Dialar days, I was speaking so much around female founders and the ecosystem and what needed to be done. And one of the big gaps that we saw was there were not women investors in the ecosystem. And everybody knows it, studies have shown it, women investors tend to invest more aggressively in women. And so if nobody was doing it, somebody needed to do it. And so I guess I decided to switch to this side of the table and become an investor. So there was it was definitely not something that I had aspired to do. It just ended up happening because it needed to be done.
So does it change your perspective on startup?
I think coming from the founder side, She Capital is founded by me, but I think coming from the founder side to the investor side, you tend to be more empathetic because you've been a founder. So you know what challenges and hardships every founder is going to build something. You're also more respectful because you know that it's not easy to build it. Like there's a thing in She Capital, it's a clear mandate. Ek to we realize a founder is so busy. There's so many things coming at you all the time. So one of the clearest mandates is please do not waste a founder's time. If we are not interested in the company, please tell them very clearly after the first call or the second call that, whatever, please don't ask for, because I remember, and it still happens and continues to happen, that investors will call down for your number, they'll call down for the, TAM and all that. When it's not needed, if you're not interested, just tell the founder, let the founder do. Founder has 100 things to do. So I think that we're very cognizant about, and we try and ensure that, we run She Capital as truly founder friendly and founder respectful of whatever time that they have.
In this episode, I just want to know what is going on in your mind as an investor. So I would like to know from you what really makes a startup investment worthy for She Capital.
I didn't appreciate the investor role so much when I moved here. Now I wake up with gratitude every day because when you're a founder, you work in a silo, you're building one thing. As an investor, I have the bird's eye view. Yes, I'm not deeply involved, but I get to meet such amazing founders that the day I meet two back-to-back amazing founders, dil khush ho jata. You're like, wow, look at the amazing things that they're building. I tell founders this a lot of times, and I think founders should be cognizant of this. I always tell them, please don't be disheartened when an investor says no to you. Because a founder-investor relationship is very much like a dating or a marriage relationship. Only the right pair comes together, right? It could very well be that you and I don't see eye to eye on different things. We don't match on a lot of things, right? What you are building currently might be something I've already invested in or something similar. Investors definitely have a lot of those things that they're taking into account. And I tell founders that all the time, that please don't take any, don't be disheartened by when somebody says no to you. Be very cognizant of what you're building and confident in that. As far as other things being all equal, we all look for great business ideas. At the stage we come in at, great founders. I think founders are key to any startup being built. So just you want to find founders that know ke badi baar giroge aur badi baar utna bhi padega kisi tarah. And as long as they're good about that and they have a great business idea, we're happy to talk to them.
You have both female and male founders in your portfolio. So do you think that women founders and male like women founders have a different approach to pitch to the investor than their male counterpart?
I think women in general will not talk about numbers. But जब आप investor होते हो, one of the most important thing is knowing your numbers. अगर आप मुझे numbers नहीं पता, and I know women know their numbers. हम ही हिसाब करते हैं, हमें ही पता है कि कितना of a product is needed to go where. But for some reason, in front of investors, women hesitate to talk numbers. Okay, and so this has been a passion project also, and you hear about it constantly at Together also. Do please talk about numbers. I think women also tend to be more realistic than guys. They'll give more realistic numbers. Guys हवे में बहुत बात करते हैं, big numbers मारते हैं. Oh, this is so good. I will do this. I will do this. You see these inherent differences between guys, women, and men in general. That women tend to be very conservative. Men tend to be a little more talking in the air. Women don't talk numbers. Men, they look to their male counterpart, whoever it is, whether it's their co-founder or the CFO, whoever's come to talk numbers, which I don't like at all, because if you come to me, please tell me your numbers. As an investor, we want to know that you know, and I know you know your numbers. So just say it instead of feeling scared to say it.
After listening to a lot of pitches by now, what do you think is the common thing, like the common mistakes that startup founders are making?
You know that there's a phrase called the elevator pitch. I think it was made for it was termed that for a reason, and that reason is that if you're not able to explain your business proposition or your startup in the first 7 minutes, I'm being gracious in saying that 7-10 minutes, the odds are you've lost the investor. Okay, that's the first thing. So it's you really, and I tell everybody this, we do it internally too, and I think everybody should do it. Keep practicing in front of your friends, practice your pitch in front of your co-founders, practice, it makes perfect. Second is pitch to the right kind of investors. You see so many people, they'll be pitching to the wrong. If the founder is not running a consumer business but is pitching to a consumer tech VC fund, anyway आपने कुछ homework नहीं किया. So I think it's very important that you also know some stuff about. I never go into a meeting unprepared even now. So my best advice to anybody is, as a founder, please do your homework, go in prepared, but also practice a lot of times with your pitching and make it very tight, because you've got the first 7 minutes max to get somebody to understand.
We have one key examples of Byju's where we have seen people running behind valuation. And then we have shows like Shark Tank that has glorified the funding. So I would like to ask from you as an investor, what do you think? Like what really matters, valuation, funding, or the real idea?
Yes, for the longest time, valuations were being chased. Yes, there was a time that a lot of startups founders would come to us and they'd say, I want to do a startup. And I'd say, idea kya hai? I want to raise funding. Wo idea nahi hai. Idea is what your core idea is. So, of course, more than anything in the world, what matters is what your core idea is, what your concept is, and how differentiated it is. What is the value proposition you're building and how you're differentiating yourself. As long as you have that sorted, everything else falls into place. If you are building a business and you're in the business of just raising funds, then that house of cards will at some point fall on your face. And I think now, luckily, founders are starting to see that. They're also starting to see that valuation is a vanity metric that is no longer something that's a positive. It's a negative, because it's like वो वैल्यूएशन अगर आपने एक इन्वेस्टर को दे दी, उसके बाद यू विल हैव टू गेट अनदर इन्वेस्टर जिसको हायर वैल्यूएशन देनी पड़ेगी. So these are things you need to be mindful of. You can't just say, oh, this is not something that is your metric of success. मेरे पास इतनी वैल्यूएशन मैंने रेस किया, इतनी वैल्यूएशन पे.
Anisha, what are the sectors that really excite you in the present market?
Here's the thing. Unlike the US and China, where AI is the hottest sector, people are not looking at anything other than AI. I think India consumer still tends to be really hot. It will continue to be hot because we are waking up to consumerism to a great extent now. The fund She Capital, if you look at a portfolio construct, 50% has been consumer, and the rest has been what we call interesting tech. It is deep tech, it's AI, it's sports tech. There's a lot of that. So we look at like interesting plays in health tech that have used AI, or we look at sports tech and see what have they done to better the game in a particular, in Kabaddi in this case, or even great consumer businesses being built. We tend to be excited about everything. My personal favorite these days is finding a startup in the travel space. I think travel needs to be disrupted. I don't mean planes. I mean the experience of traveling needs to be disrupted. Right now, there are too many people at the airport. Everything needs to be so very similar to how Digi Yatra has eased our life. I'm hoping there's more and more cool tech that starts coming that is actually easing consumer and traveler pain.
All right. Thank you so much, Anisha, for giving us, such great insights.
Thank you.